Welcome to the first ever Baron broadcast. I'm your host, Kenny Graff, and I'm here with my co-host, Juan Gonzalez. How are you doing today, Juan?
Kenny, thank you. I'm doing amazing today. Good Sunday so far, so
great to hear.
Thanks.
Great to hear.
Yeah.
All right, so this might be weird, right? You might be asking yourself, what is this broadcast? Who are these people? Why is this relevant to me? Well, Juan, why don't we take a few moments today and today only to answer these questions? Does that sound good to you?
Sounds great.
Okay, so first question. What is this broadcast, right? This is our weekly breakdown of the Barons men's soccer and the President's Athletic Commission. It's made up of about 11 teams throughout the months of August through November, where we'll be covering highlights, results, and much, much more. Second question, who are we? What makes us qualified to talk about this stuff, right? Juan, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background in men's soccer?
Yeah, so I started off on the team playing. I came in fall of 2019, my freshman year, and I actually unfortunately skipped my junior year to go to Austria, but I kind of got that year back doing a fifth year while doing grad classes. That was last season. So been with the team for more or less 5 years. It's been great. I loved it. I loved Coach Bobak coming in. Big fan of Coach Brand, obviously, who I ended my career with, and I actually got this one award. It was a Teammate of the Year award. That was my last season.
It's well deserved.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah, I loved all 5 years ahead of the team though. Definitely miss it. Definitely wish I was still out there, but can't really quite keep up with those young guys anymore.
I bet you could. So what are you doing right now for the team?
So right now I'm just doing sales. I am helping out the team a little bit with social media here and there, doing a little commentary just for fun. Like I said, I love the program so much. I love the team, I love the coaches. Still have some of my best friends on the team actually. So any way that I could help out their program, I want to. So yeah, whether that's social media, whether it's just engaging with the guys on the team now, being like type of like a mentor. That's kind of where I want to help out now.
That's great. And I've seen it, I've seen the social media posts, you asking those questions, as well as listening to actual home games. You're on the live stream. The last few games have been, great to listen to. So great to have you here as my co-host, Juan. This is fantastic. I'm so excited. I guess my background, to let everybody know. So I guess where I could start it off was freshman year. I was random roommates with Jax Matone, who ended up being one of the starting goalkeepers for the team. And one day just was in my room, asked him to hang out with him and his friends, realized that everybody was on the soccer team, all of his friends, and just hung out with them every day. Got to know the team, got to know the players, and they became some of my best friends to this day. And every day during the seasons, I'd hang out with them until, 4 or 5 o'clock when they were like, oh, we got to go to practice. And I was like, I got nothing else better to do. So I ended up following them to practice and sitting on the sidelines and watching it. And, I remember there was a game one time where I was the only fan in the stands. Seriously, it was during the day. I maybe had a class or something, cancel. And I was like, great, now I can go to the game. So I ended up walking up to the field, the only Franciscan fan. I remember cheering as loud as I could. It was great. And now look at us, we've got filling stands, filling up the hill, which is incredible to see just for a couple years ago. But like I said, I would hang out at their practices. And one day I remember being on the sidelines. I wore a hat and sunglasses, and I had a fake clipboard. And the coach at the time, Christian Bobak, came up to me and was like, "What's the deal, kid? What are you doing here? It's funny that you're doing this." I said to him, "I'm here to recruit Juan Gonzalez for a D1 scholarship," and he loved that. It was so funny. I just hit it off with everybody again. Just loved being around the team, and ended up meeting Teak. If anybody knows who that is, you know how hard Teak works, and he's a soccer manager at the time, but he had taken up so much on his plate that he wanted to see, hey, Kenny, maybe you'd be interested in taking over this role. And I was like, I would love to be able to hang out with my friends and be a part of the team, even actually be a part of the team. And he helped me out and got me hooked up with the coach at the time was Christian Bobak, and everything was great. However, that was 2019. And COVID happened, and then that season kind of got pushed around. Bobak ended up not coaching that year. He ended up going back to, I believe it was Louisiana.
Louisiana.
With his family and everything. And, Zeph Swope, shout out to Zeph, took over the team for one season in that fall, I believe, or it was a spring season. I'm not 100% sure. I think it was the fall of 2020. We had that kind of weird intermediate season. And then following that, Coach Ridenauer took over the team in the spring of 2021, I want to say it was. And from then, I was the soccer manager helping on social media. So if you've seen anything before, Juan and J-Wall and everybody posting now, I was trying to keep the program up to date on things and doing live tweets for the first time and keeping everything available. So, I guess that's my background and what makes me, qualified to talk down about this podcast, which is great. And then we're going to move on to the next question here. Why is this relevant to you, the audience? I think this is relevant. It's basically just a fun breakdown from the week. We're going to be chatting with players and coaches, giving behind-the-scenes look into what makes the President's Athletic Commission conference as competitive as some of the highest-tier conferences in the nation. Just a little bit of a breakdown of how this is going to work week to week. Obviously, we're not going to do this every week. This is just an intro to who we are. But it's going to start off with our intros and saying how everything's going, and then we're going to break it down like this. We're going to have a recap and results from the week, looking over our predictions for the week, looking at results from games and scores. Then we're going to move into the Franciscan week in review. We're going to be looking at goals from the week, saves from the week, plays that could have, turned around, different things if it was a loss or however that might work. We're going to talk about special guests. We're going to have a segment with guests on, and we have a special guest coming up later in this episode, so please stick around for that. And then at the end of the show, we're going to talk about our predictions for the week. The week following, we're going to try to do this every single Sunday. We're going to have to upload in the afternoon, get this for you Sunday night, so you can listen to it during your week before the games start. But from there, I think honestly, this has been, our intro. We just want to let you know about our background. Is there anything else you want to say before we jump into actually the first recap and results for this week?
No, we have this pilot episode, which is just something fun, something to engage with our fans because we have so many. So I'm excited.
Love this. Okay, great. So let's do it. Let's hit the slide and get into the recap and results from the week.
All right, let's get into the results for the PAC teams this week. Obviously, we don't have any predictions because it's our first episode. But first off, we have Allegheny. They actually tied SUNY Ganizio on Tuesday. And then St. Vincent lost to Fredonia on Tuesday as well. Wednesday, we had Geneva beating Mount Aloysius, which is a team that was in our old conference. Then Grove City beating Penn State Barron, which is a big game for them. They won 1-0. We had a big victory over Marietta College, 2-0. Lost to Baldwin Wallace, and Chatham fell to Juniata. And W&J lost to Carnegie Mellon, and Westminster was able to beat LaRoche. And Waynesburg, unfortunately, lost to Pitt Greensburg 3-2.
And now we have, again, Allegheny's up here on Thursday, September 12th. They beat Oberlin, win over them. St. Vincent, unfortunately, lost to Penn State Altoona. Franciscan faced off against Kenyon, number 5 in the country, tied 2-2. Baldwin Wallace beat Waynesburg 6-1. St. Vincent tied Penn College. Chatham tied Penn State Barron. Teal tied LaRoche. Allegheny lost to Nazareth 2-1. Westminster in Heidelberg, am I saying that right? I think is one. They beat them. Yeah. Westminster beat them. And then WJ lost to Penn State Harrisburg. Grove City tied Buffalo State 1-1. Bethany lost to Mount Al 3-1. And then here is tied game Hiram Geneva with 0s. And that's where we are from our results from this week.
Some big games there.
Yeah, there were some massive games, with that last draw. I think, especially with our Franciscan Barons playing the number 5 team in the country, that's incredible. Yeah, and then this is kind of our standings for the week. We're looking at an overall, Geneva still sitting at 1. Again, this is just preseason. This is our regular season, yeah, but it's nothing in conference yet. In conference play has yet to start. We have, Geneva, Franciscan, Teal, Grove City, Waynesburg, Westminster, St. Vincent, W&J, Chatham, Allegheny, and Bethany. This is where we are looking right now into our future. Who knows? This is all going to change every single week. Excited for PAC play.
Still early in the season.
Yep, it's very early in the season. And then, that's really going to do it for this first segment about, results. We don't really have, we're going to get into our predictions a little later, but I would love to get into a deep dive into Franciscan now.
All right, so we hosted Marietta College. Last year we beat them 3-2 at home. This year we were able to beat them with that shutout 2-0, which is a big thing that I know the team is working on this year, shutouts and just team defense. So I think I was able to commentate that game. I think we had really good defense, especially the back five. Aiden Miller, especially in net, doing good. There's no saves recorded on the stats, but he had a lot of saves. And then even offensively, we had a goal by Lucas Cross, and then as well as sophomore Danny Wayert with 2 of the goals. And really the first goal I loved because it was definitely team effort. It was the ball to Schreiner sent it to Julian. Julian had a really unselfish play, passing it over to Lucas Cross, which I think was really amazing. So super team goal, a big team goal. I think we beat Marietta with shots on target with 11, and they only had 4. They had a big all-around team defense in that game. 2 yellow cards as well for both sides. Definitely a fun one to watch, though.
Yeah, and then later in the week, Franciscans ended up playing Kenyon, number 5 Division III team in the country, which is amazing to be able to have that on your schedule to the preseason. Really shows you a test of how good you are, I guess, to begin the season here. And a little different, same kind of concept that you're saying, one where the shots were lower. However, it was flipped on us this time. So in the game, Franciscan had 8 shots, Kenyon 19 shots. Our recorded saves on this one was, Franciscan had 4 saves, Kenyon had 3. I can keep going into those details, but it ended up being a tie game, 2-2, coming out strong. We scored 2 goals, one off a penalty kick off Ryan Miller, the second one off of just an open goal here by Lucas Cross. Also fantastic start to the year with Lucas. Or I would say a front runner for Offensive Player of the Year for the PAC, definitely. And then obviously assisted by Julian Freeman on that as well. Shout out to Julian and the team. Also, it's a big team effort. But unfortunately, right after that second goal, Kenyon decided to turn it up a little bit. It was able to get a penalty kick goal like literally a minute later, able to finish that off, and then also turning it into a second goal in the 81st minute by Lazarus Jacob. Or Jacob Lazarus is what it has here, and that's unfortunate, but at the same time it really felt like watching it, for me, it almost felt like the possession was really great in Kenyon staff. They have to be, if they're 5th in the country. They're playing teams like Ohio Northern, ranked 15 in the country, John Carroll, John Hopkins, ranked 24th, Franklin and Marshall, and these guys aren't losing games. They're either winning or tying. Like I said, 15th and 24th, they won those games. Again, like I said, John Hopkins and Ohio Northern, us coming in non-ranked and being able to tie this team is something, is great. And if you watch the film, honestly, didn't feel like we, played our best and able to tie the game up at the end there for their end. And then if you watch the full game, there was an opportunity to win that game at the end. John Schreiner, I believe it was, had an open goal opportunity. Kind of, the keeper came out, it was a collision play. It looked at an angle like it might have was going to go in or something, and it was just this great kind of moment to say, like, wow, like, and we might hear a little later about that from a few of our guests here in the future and things like that. But it really felt in that moment like it was, we've arrived. We've come to a a crossroad where we can either keep going or it just depends on what the team wants to do. And it was really great to see that, especially from our background, seeing where the team was as a club and moving towards now as a program, and seeing that, we can fight with these big dogs and, be a part of this, great thing that's happening every year. So great game, both this week, two different, styles, two different teams, definitely, showed out in those both games, and excited to see what we have coming up this week.
Yeah, and I actually want to add to that too, something to take into account is that game was played at 1 p.m. It was an away game, about 2 hours away, super hot. Usually we play at night. So not only was it a great competition for us, really good Canyon side, but also, if you think about it, most of these guys are not really getting subbed off. Super hot, super tough game, just even mentally, with the heat and everything. So really good performance, obviously, on our side, and I think even the team was a little upset with the tie.
Definitely.
But yeah.
We move forward. We keep moving on to our next opponents, and that's a great segue into our next segment. Is we're actually going to bring in a special guest. Juan, if you don't mind, I would love to maybe you give a little bit of background on who this is without giving it away, and then we can run the film and we'll announce who it is. So Juan, you want to take it from here? Maybe intro this person without giving too much away.
Yeah. So definitely a little drum roll. So this guy came in with me freshman year. I won't give away his position because I might give it away, but great friend of mine, still involved with the program. Has had a lot of success in his time with the program as well. Yeah.
Great. And my random roommate freshman year. So that might also give it away, but let's roll the clip and see who it is. Our special guest this week is Jax Martone, like you just saw. Jax, thank you for joining us today. It's amazing that you're here with us.
Hi, Jax.
I just wanted to, Jax, ask you, maybe you can let everybody who's listening in know about your career at Franciscan, where you started, where you are now. Just start it off from here.
Yeah, sure. Pretty late in high school, I committed to Franciscan. I looked around at other schools, really wanted to play soccer and continue my athletic career while I was pursuing my academic endeavors. And I played goalie, and Coach Boback at the time really liked my stuff, I guess, for lack of a better term. And the rest is history. I was on the team for 5 years, had that COVID year, the bonus year, as some say. And then the first 2 years were tough for me. I didn't play at all. And it was very humbling, and it was awesome, a great experience to grow, fellowship with the guys, and also grow in virtue, and, learn a lot of valuable life lessons. But then, I got my chance my third year in, and I was able to start the next 3 years of my career. And I was blessed in every moment, unforgettable memories. And, it was the best, arguably the best few years of my life, the best 5 years of my life, and I'll remember it forever for sure,
Awesome. And I guess we could say Coach Jax now.
Yeah.
Now you're coaching. How has that been?
Yeah. I just all roads to Steubenville, right? They all lead to Franciscan. After finishing last year, again, I was blessed with a great work opportunity in town, but what really drew me back is I just want to be involved with this program and give back to something that's been so generous to me and so impactful in my life. And I've loved it. Again, coaching is a completely different perspective. Getting ready for game day, it's wow, I'm not playing, so I can kind of relax a little bit. It's a different kind of energy for sure. But I love every moment of coaching. It's such a great dynamic. The coaching staff's great, the players great, the staff's great. Honestly, I get more anxious while I'm coaching instead of when I was playing, which is kind of crazy. I never thought that would happen, but yeah, dude, every moment's great. I love it.
That's amazing, Jackson. Definitely a humble first answer, I'll say. I was just looking over a couple of your awards here. Looking at 2019 to 2020, you had an academic award when we were still in the AMCC. And then every year after that, 2020 to 2024, every single year got on the honor roll. And then in 2024 got PAC Scholar Athlete of the Year. Incredible. And then that's only the academic awards. That doesn't even include the, honorable mentions that you had in 2021 and 2022 for, all PAC. And then all the way back as well as part of the PAC All Tournament team in 2021, which is just amazing. So you definitely have earned, your championship while you were there, earning your starting position. And just amazing to see that growth from the beginning, especially from my point of view as your once roommate. So great to see that. And my question to you here, I guess, would be your background in being a student athlete, maybe what that's like. How do you control it? How does it not get out of control? Things of that nature.
Oh yeah, dude. Soccer adds so much structure to your life when you play and you take it seriously. And I think especially now, and in the past too, but now especially, like as a coaching staff, we emphasize you're here to be a student. This is your priority. Obviously, faith first in your family, and then next is your academics. That's what's important. That's what your degree is. I mean, with respect, you're probably not going to play soccer after your years at college, so you really want to take your academics seriously. That's what you're paying for. So having soccer there adds structure all the way. That's what kept me honest. Honestly, my grades were worse when I wasn't playing soccer because I had too much free time. So it was just so much easier for me to be able to know, like, hey, I'm going to get up and then I'm going to go do homework. I'm going to go to my classes and then I'm going to go eat lunch and then I'm going to go to practice and then so on and so forth, So I think any student athlete will tell you that it's important to implement this physical activity for you psychologically, but also it helps you go all the way academically for sure.
Yeah, Jax, you were always good at putting that student and student athlete. So congratulations there.
Yeah, guys.
I actually want to go back to.
I didn't even know I had some of those academic awards. I was like the AMCC freshman year. I was like, oh my goodness, freshman year. Whew.
Hard work does. I wanted to ask you. We came in together freshman year, fall of 19. And then just this weekend, as a coach now, you just tied a number 5 ranked team, which I know we're going to get into a little bit more later on. What have you seen that's like different, like everything from fall of 19 to this week with the program?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because I know we always give Coach Brent a hard time. We always laugh at it. We're a team and now we're a program. It's like there's that difference in organization and difference in the main thing that I see is the difference in mentality. It's like, soccer used to be something that we do for fun, in our spare time. But here now it's like, it's to have fun, but it's way more fun to win. So we're going to win. We're going to work our butts off to make that happen. And we're going to do everything possible. Everything's like Coach Brent has always said, first class, everything. Like yesterday, even after the game, I just made sure I was the last guy on the bus, and I was looking and everything was spotless, led from the seniors down, everything, the showers, the locker rooms, the benches, everything was spotless. Everything was perfect. We're just meticulous about every little detail now. And that's, again, no bash on what's happened. It's everything's a stepping stone and what we can improve and get better at. But I think, of course, this is the apex of Franciscan soccer. And like I was talking about the mentality, it's, one thing that, again, Coach Brent was, and so was I, was if we woke up on Friday morning and you told us we'd tie Kenyon, we'd be like, we'll take it. Like, that's unbelievable. But then after the game, it's 2-2, and these guys they're pretty angry and they're disappointed, and we're like, we understand we can play with these. These are winnable games. Like, there's no game that's not winnable anymore. And we played number 1 Messiah a couple years ago too in the nation, and then we drew them. Kenny, you were there. You recorded our reaction to drawing them in the tournament, and we all were like, "Oh, here we go." The reaction was hysterical. But now I think it's like we want to play these teams. Like, this is the desire. Like, we can beat these teams. We belong here. There's no doubt in my mind that give us a couple years, we're being ranked. We're gonna be ranked. We're gonna dominate. This program's only gonna get better.
You make me want to run through a brick wall, Jax. There's this what a great answer. No, this is No, and that's something that I feel like has been definitely taking it from a club to a program, like you said. It's just you see it a day in and day out. When I was a manager there for you guys, like one of the things, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but it was the seniors are the people that take care of cleaning up after the team, and that's not like a first year's option. You're taken care of right when you get there to the point you leave, and it's your program. You leave it to your next steps, and Jax, you've seen that, and you want to keep being involved with the team, which I think is fantastic. You guys have been doing a great job, off to a great start this year. Definitely keeping that fire going, and but yeah, I honestly think where you guys were at, especially where I've seen it, like you said, you're going places, and we've seen it every single day. It's taken a step forward to be a ranked team in Division III men's soccer. This is something that's been brewing for years, and just taking every step forward every single day has just been awesome to watch and be a part of as well, previously, and now seeing where it is now. So with that being said, Jax, thank you for joining us today. It was great to have you. Juan, do you have anything else maybe before we hop off here for Jax?
No, not really. Hopefully we can get you on sometime later in the season too.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Once we get to like 1 million views, get me back on. Tell everyone I was about that.
Will do, Jaxie. Well, I appreciate you, Jax, and go win us a couple games.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. But only winning, only going up from here. Thank you guys so much. Blessed to be here.
All right, peace.
Good night. Sleep tight.
Bye, guys.
All right, in this segment, we're actually just going to be talking about predictions and games we're excited for about this week. Again, this is going to be a little bit different once we get into the season in conference play. Obviously, now it's teams you might not know really about, but I guess for this week one, we can keep it short and maybe just talk about games we're excited for this week. I'm looking here, and for I guess the first one that really pops to mind is our own game, Franciscan versus Mount Union here. This is going to be at 7 p.m. Away for us, which should be a great game. I think this is going to be obviously a good test again for us, coming off of a tie against the number 5 team in the country, and I think I'm really excited to see what the team could do against another great opponent, as Mount Union is from our past has shown us.
Yeah, definitely. The one I'm kind of looking at is Carnegie Mellon versus Grove City, and that'll be played at Grove City. I don't really remember the last time we played Carnegie Mellon, but if I do remember correctly, they're a pretty good team. Grove City obviously is a team we play every year. They always give us a really, really good game. So I'm excited to see that one.
All right. With that being said, I mean, Juan, do you want to give me maybe your prediction, your score, and then who walks away with a W or a tie or a loss? And what are you thinking for that Carnegie Mellon and the Grove City game?
Definitely, yeah. I'm thinking, to be very wrong, but I'm thinking 2-0 win for Grove City for that matchup.
2-0 Grove City. And I guess for mine, I'm going to go offensively. I think we're very good. I want to go. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say 2-1 Franciscan against Mount Union here. Obviously, it's biased, but at the same time, I think this could be a really good game for us to see and watch and be a part of. And in the future, obviously, next episode we'll see how we did in those predictions. So officially, Juan, you're locking in Grove City win over Carnegie Mellon 2-0. I'm going to lock in Franciscan at 2-1 over Mount Union. And then any other games here that maybe, top of mind before, obviously, we're going to see these games here. Like we play Penn State Barron. That's a great game. Why don't we both put our last predictions on Penn State Barron here, Juan? What are you thinking? Do we take a win? Do we take a loss, a tie? What's your prediction here?
Yeah, Penn State Barron's always a great team. I feel like very offensively, they're really good, work the ball around. I would love a shutout, but my prediction is we'll go up we'll get the win. We're just gonna get the win 2-1.
2-1.
That's my prediction.
I'm gonna lock in the shutout. I believe in our back line. I believe in our goalkeeper now. I think Aiden Miller back there, Josh Atkinson. The team has really built up a strong back line from previous years as well, just to follow in the footsteps of how strong our D line has been. So I'm gonna say Franciscan 3, It's Penn State Barons 0. That is my guess. That is my prediction for the
Wow.
week. But with that being said, Juan, I think that's the end of this segment. Let's cut to the outro here.
All right. Well, this is the end of our first episode. Hope everyone's enjoying it. Obviously, it's a little bit slower, but I'm really excited. I know Kenny's really excited. Hopefully, we can get this thing going, get some more engagement going. Again, it's something fun to do. But yeah, anything, Kenny?
I would say if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, please like this post, share the page. We're just trying to keep this up to date. Again, this is just a fun idea. We're trying to keep it, see if we get some behind the scenes action into the week. Share it with anybody. We'd appreciate it. And looking forward to the next episode here. Or expect these weekly for as long as the season's going. If we get into the NCAA tournament, expect us going into November. Really excited to talk about this every week. Watch the games, keep up to date with you guys. Any suggestions as well, please leave in the comments, or anything you want to see from us. Your suggestion for guests. Thank you, Jax, again for being with us today. It was great to have you. Excited to see who next week is. I think we already have a little idea, but we'll have to tune in next week to see who that is. But other than that, thank you guys. We're excited. I know, this season is going to be awesome. This is, I think, Coach Brent Reinauer's first year team. So those first years that came in are with him now are seniors or fifth years, and it's going to be just really showing what the program has become. Excited to see what it is. I already, from what we've seen, is shown that this is going to be a great season. I'm excited. I know Juan's already told me how excited he is. How you were hyped. But yeah, thank you, Juan, for being here today with me as co-host. And please tell everybody about this broadcast. We're starting it off. The Baron Broadcast, first ever episode. We appreciate everybody listening in, and we'll see you soon.
Ooh. Peace.